Hey, yo. What's poppin', gang? All right. We back. We back with another reaction, man. Actually, it's not even a reaction. This is like legal hour, man. Shout out to everybody for pulling up, man. Make sure y'all hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. We actually did something a little different this time. I provided a link for you guys to be able to tap in and kind of let me know how y'all feeling about this situation. I'm gonna try to get through most of this first, and then we got quite a few pages to get through here, man. So I'm gonna try to go ahead and tap into all of this. I want to get through all of this today if we can. But then I also want to see if I can hear from some of y'all as well, man. Y'all can kind of let me know how y'all feel about this situation. If anything that was said here kind of strikes you any differently at all. But before we get into this, man, make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys for all of your support, man. You guys are absolutely incredible. We really been trying to get to the bottom of all of this Drake stuff. We're not lawyers, but we definitely always want to stay abreast of what's going on and understand everything. So lawyers out there, we always love to have your input. So you guys are even some of the people that we want to hear from too. I did attach a link. I don't have to show anybody's faces, anything like that, right? You guys could definitely pull up and let me know. Let me know where you guys are watching from as well. Shout out to Carne Asada Taco. New Jid, I got the link. It's on Reddit. Hey, send it over to me, man. We might have to tap into that. Thank you for the $5 donation, gang. I appreciate you. Funny how Drake was talking about twerking with a dictionary. Meanwhile, he has us all out here reading our court documents. Facts. Watching from Baltimore. I appreciate you. Let me know where everybody's watching from. All right, chat. So if you guys do not know, they say if you've been living under a rock, man, but Drake amended his the lawsuit again against UMG pertaining to Not Like Us, right? And then very soon after that, UMG actually responded and gave a response to that too. So we actually have that we're going to be tapping into as well. Shout out to Seattle too. So there's a lot of moving parts going on here, and we're going to get into it. So let's see. I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to try to read through this as quickly as possible. In the middle of the night, May 7, 2024, an armed group of assailants drove up to a Toronto house in which Drake and his family resided. Drake was inside. The car stopped in front of the residence. Someone yelled, "F Drake!" And at least one gunman began to open fire. One bullet went through the security gate and hit Drake's front door. Another bullet struck and wounded a security guard who was also one of Drake's friends. While the car drove away, Drake and others in the house summoned help for the security guard, and they did everything possible to keep him alive. During the nearly 30 minutes it took for the ambulance to arrive, Drake and others labored to keep the man alive by applying pressure to the gunshot wound with towels. Blood was everywhere. After the security guard arrived at the hospital, surgeons worked quickly to remove the bullet, stopping the bleeding and saving his life. Though it took days for his condition to stabilize, thankfully the security guard survived. The very next day, May 8th, a different intruder used his bare hands to dig a hole under the security fence surrounding Drake's Toronto house. He managed to dig deep enough to squeeze through and enter Drake's property. Fortunately, Drake's home security guards caught him before he was able to cause any physical harm. Although the trespasser managed to yell a racist slur and threats against Drake before being escorted off the property. On May 9th, the very next day, another break-in attempt happened. So it is saying day after day after day, this is happening. This is crazy. In the two decades leading up to May of 2024, although Drake was constantly in the public eye, nothing remotely like these events had ever happened to him or his family. But these events were not coincidental. They immediately followed and were approximately caused by UMG's actions leading up to and on May 4th, 2024. So he's saying UMG's actions are the reasons why this is happening. Okay. Let me know what you guys think about that. I do have a link posted for y'all. We're going to be getting into that in a minute. I'll let you guys know when it's probably good to give a call in so we can go ahead and get your guys' feedback. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Like I said, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're doing a lot of reading today, gang. Told y'all I like reading over math. UMG is the world's largest music group, is the world's largest music company and also the music company that has represented Drake for more than a decade. Yet on May 4th, 2024, UMG approved, published, and launched a campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that falsely accuses Drake of being a PDF file and calls for violent retribution against him. Even though UMG enriched itself and its shareholders by exploiting Drake's music for years and knew that the salacious allegations against Drake were false, UMG chose corporate greed over the safety and well-being of its artist. In controversy, UMG saw an opportunity, seized it, and continued to fan the flames even after learning of the incitement of violence on May 7th and 8th, along with the unrelenting vitriol towards Drake that has followed. Unrelenting vitriol. What up, Jibs? The song in question is They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us. Written and performed by Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, professionally known as Kendrick Lamar. The recording was intended to convey the specific, unmistakable, and false factual. Wait. False factual? Lawyers. False factual? Wait, and false factual allegations? Okay, false factual allegation that Drake is a criminal. Amended complaint here, right? The full lyrics of the recordings are attached here too as Exhibit A. The recording was first made available for streaming on YouTube. See Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, YouTube. Okay, so they're saying that's the first place it was dropped. And false factual allegation that Drake is a criminal, PDF file. And to suggest, okay, so they took this out. So the striking is the red marks of them taking everything out. So they're removing this from their amendment, huh? And to suggest vigilant justice as a response. So what they're saying is they're not saying that the public should resort to that. So they're just saying that it's been suggested that a vigilant justice as a response, but not by the public. That's interesting. The recording is defamatory because its lyrics, its album, The Image, which is the image of his house with the red markers on it, basically saying that there's PDF files in that house, and its music video, all advance the false and malicious narrative that Drake is a PDF file. The lyrics repeatedly accuse Drake of engaging in criminal acts, including by calling him a certified PDF file and a predator who needs to be placed on neighborhood watch. The image was designed to reinforce and in fact reinforces that accusation by depicting Drake's actual Toronto house covered in the icons that are known to be used by law enforcement, as well as public safety applications like citizens to identify child offenders. We'll just say that. Residents online. The video bolsters, they took that out. So the video, created weeks after the song became a viral hit, was designed to reinforce. So I'm wondering why they chose to take out a simple word like bolster and then just give the written out definition of what created weeks after the song became a viral hit was designed to reinforce. Okay, so they're not saying bolster is basically to push, to make it a little, to make it more, to bolster it, to kind of like beef it up a little bit. So they're taking that out and they're saying it was created weeks after the song became a viral hit and was designed to reinforce the same false factual narrative. So they took message out and they're reinforcing the false factual narrative. The Flex Your Mind Network, what up, gang? What up? Shout out to the Flex Your Mind Network too, man. I be peeping the videos, gang. Make sure y'all tap in with him too. That's the homie right there. I be peeping in. I be tapping in with the videos, man. So that's interesting. They're doubling down on the false factual narrative and removing the fact that there was a message. We'll take that out. By, for example, showing images associated with trafficking and juxtaposing the game of hopscotch with lyrics accusing Drake of trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. That is tough. The lawsuit is not about the artist who created the Not Like Us, which we've read this already, right? It is instead entirely about UMG, the music company that decided to publish, promote, exploit, and monetize allegations that it understood were not only false, but dangerous. As UMG knows and has known at all relevant times, the recording, image, and videos allegations are unequivocally false. Drake is not a PDF file. Drake has never engaged in any acts that would require to be placed on a neighborhood watch. Drake has never engaged in relations with a minor. Drake has never been charged with or convicted of any criminal acts whatsoever. So, he should have wrote a song about Dr. Dre too. Ooh, but that's his, he can't make a song about Dre. You know what I'm saying? That we know what Dre has been convicted of, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's been convicted. Let me take that out. What we think he has done, he can't do that to Dre. He can't do that to Dre. On stage, on camera, come on. Crazy, man. All right, so there's some more stuff that they've taken out here. So I wonder if we should read the entire thing or if we should only read the sections that have something stricken. Let me know what y'all want to do. We got Noah here. Noah's pulling up. I'm going to put you on camera. I'm not going to put your camera up. I'm going to just hear your voice. So far, what we've heard, what do you got to say about what we've heard so far? Do you have any sort of insight on it? I'm going to go ahead and add you to it now. We can hear you, Noah. What's up, man?
Okay. So far, what I've heard is all of that is a lie that Drake is talking about. That Drake is basically a pedophile. Everything Drake has said and lied about. They got him on tape for everything.
They got him on tape, huh? So that's what you're hearing?
Kendrick basically, Pusha T has him on tape. They got him on tape with Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh no, we can't say that. I'm gonna mute you because we can't say that because we don't know. We don't know. I just muted them because we don't know. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that'll come back on my channel like, they saying that over there. But so shout out to Noah, man. I appreciate you for pulling up for a second to kind of tell us how you feel about it, dog. We appreciate you. Always appreciate your support, gang. Thank you so much for that. All right, man. Anybody else wanted to tap in and let us know? Drake is going to get a RICO. Yeah, allegedly. We're going to keep it all alleged. That's why I say we muted him for that reason. We're not saying anything, trying to accuse anybody of doing anything. We just kind of want to know your guys' opinions on what's happening with here, man. So, yeah. All right, let me go ahead and get back to this. I'm going to read the stricken parts. UMG's campaign was successful. The recording cloaks cleverly dangerous lyrics behind a catchy beat and inviting hook, capitalizing on those attributes. UMG used every tool at its disposal to ensure that the world would hear that Drake likes Young. So so it looks like they added an S. Did they figure out the lyric wasn't like and they added an S? Okay. Drake's like some Young. And they took out this part, the defamatory material. Unlike any other song ever released by Kendrick Lamar, this song has been played many billions of times. Oh my God. Are they doubling down on the bots? They're not saying it. They're saying it without saying it. That's a sneak diss. That's a fact. That's a sneak diss. Unlike any other song ever released by Kendrick Lamar, this song has been played many billions of times. So that's an addition. That's an addition. You can see what's stricken out. The defamatory material is stricken out. And unlike any other song ever released by Kendrick Lamar, this song has been played many billions of times. So they've made updates to this to kind of bolster the claim that unlike any other song, this one has been played billions of times. That is crazy work. That's very interesting. And its false central message, has gone viral. Okay, so they've taken that out and they've said calcified into accepted fact. Calcified? Do y'all understand what calcified is? Hardened, ingrained into accepted fact. That's kind of nuts. So they're actually acknowledging that people, what they're trying to say is that people aren't viewing it as just the beef and it's just two artists going back and forth and saying things that aren't true. They're saying that the public is accepting this as actual fact. What do y'all think about that? Shout out to the homie J Time up here, man. What up, gang?
What's good?
What's good with you, broski?
You already know. You already know. Hey, I was gonna make my own video, but I saw you were live streaming, so hey.
I appreciate you, man. No,
Yeah.
you should definitely still do your video, man. Definitely still do your video, man. What's up? What you thinking about this? What you thinking about some of the additions that have been made? I think this one is the sneakiest of the sneak disses by them saying, unlike any other song ever released by Kendrick, this song has been played many billions of times. Like, I think that's a crazy way to diss the boy. Well, diss Kendrick.
Okay, to be honest with you, I actually made a video talking about this a couple weeks back. In order for that to be true, not what you said, but the statement you said before that, before you put me in order for that to be true, more than 50%, I think, have to have it stated fact.
Okay, so you're talking about the piece that's talking about calcified into accepted fact.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So more than 50% of the people have to, be, stating that they think that he is a PDF file.
So we got 130 million people watching right now. By quick yes or no, do y'all? Is this a
but
false
you also have to
central
think.
message?
You also have to think. I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No,
you
you're
also
good.
have to think. You also have to think all of Drake's fans as well.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All of Drake's there's part of the world, they may believe it, but there's also Drake's fans that make up that part as well.
Right.
That don't believe it. So UMG can actually bring that into their lawsuit and say, hey,
they don't believe it.
They don't believe it.
Right. I guess the crazy part is getting an actual number, though. Like, there's no way to get an actual number unless you polled all of the people who, listen to both these guys and say, hey, do you think that, he's actually a PDF? But I think them using that verbiage of calcified is like, it's been ingrained in our brains because the song is so catchy. And it being played at the Super Bowl and, you know what I'm saying, and on at the Pop Out and all these massive events, those lyrics just in themselves are kind of calcified into our brains. So that's why I asked y'all, what do y'all think, right?
Exactly. And my opinion on this, like, I honestly, like, I just look at it as lyrics.
Facts.
And I make jokes here and there, but I don't actually, if he is, he is.
Right.
If he isn't, he isn't. And the only way to prove it is in court.
Right.
In my opinion.
Facts. No. Like I think there's a certain level of I see you. Right? I see you. Right? Like I know you probably doing something, but there's no proof. We don't have any proof of it unless somebody comes out and says something, or there's some videotapes, or there's some, you know what I'm saying? But I think with the way that information is spread, it's a lot easier to get people to believe something, even if it's not true though. Like, you know, even with TikTok, like I had my father-in-law telling me how I'm not even gonna get into that, but anyway, but like it's a crazy way to people can definitely latch on to an idea fairly quickly. And I think if there's any truth to it, I think it's basically it's true, right? So
yeah,
and I'm kind of on
and
that
again
side too.
the only, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna believe it until like there's 100% concrete evidence. Somebody is like saying, "Hey, this MFer did this to me,"
Right?
And they take it to court, and then it's 100% yes, he is.
Yeah, and
then everything else will just basically make sense.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. though. I think it has been happening, but that's the thing with NDAs, right? Because we looked that up to see if that's something that you can hide behind. And if you've broken a law, you can't hide behind an NDA. At least that's my understanding. Lawyers, let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong. But I think there are some things that have been said, but they're hidden behind NDAs or whatever. So I don't know, man. I think it's definitely one of those ones where you can kind of, like you said, we see you, but we don't know if it's true until it's actually proven in court.
Right.
Shout out to the homie J-Tom for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all tap in with J-Tom Reactions. If you guys haven't done it already, man, tap in with him. He's a friend of the channel. He's always here, always showing support, man. Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate you pulling up.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, dog. All right, let's go ahead and get back to reading. All right, so where were we? And its false central message has calcified into accepted fact via social and legacy media channels, broadcast in dozens of languages at a minimum, hundreds of millions of people spanning the globe. It's not just fans of rap music who now believe that Drake is a certified PDF file, because it's not just fans of, wait. This is kind of weird the way they wrote this. Hold on, let me go back. It is not just fans of rap music who now believe Drake is a PDF. The recording has become ubiquitous. Okay, so they took that out, and in quotations, they have, because it is not just fans of rap music who have been repeatedly exposed to song lyrics. Yeah, bro, everybody listens to music. Everybody listens to music, and people. So basically, this is them saying, if you think about the Super Bowl, right? All of those people that were at the Super Bowl are probably not like fans. They're not specifically what you would identify as rap fans. There's people there who have no idea what was going on between Kendrick and what was going on between Drake. But he said certified lover boy, certified PDF. And it was like, what? So even if they don't know anything else, they know that. And they know A minor. They know that too. So that's, bro, it's music at the end of the day. Shout out to Deontay for the 2. I missed another donation too, fam. Who knows? But kissing the 17-year-old girl, oh man. Yes, shout out to Deontay for the 2. Who knows? But kissing 17-year-olds, those words were facts. He definitely did that. Where's that other $2 donation? Ken Armstrong, thank you for the 2, fam. I did not miss it. We just had a guy come on and I forgot to get that. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you guys for the donations. Thank you, as always. Let's get back to the reading. Who have been reportedly exposed to song lyrics. Instead, the recording has become ubiquitous in significant part because of UMG's deliberate efforts designed to accomplish just that. UMG uses promotional resources and exclusive licensing rights to place the recording on numerous nationally televised events. but not limited to award shows, national political events, and more. The NBA was running it like crazy. If you guys don't mind hitting that like button, let's get 100 likes in the stream. But billions of plays and ubiquity were not enough for UMG. They crossed out. Over the course of the last several months, UMG has. They've crossed that out, okay? Long after UMG knew about the harm that Not Like Us had caused to Drake, and with full understanding that countless listeners have interpreted the song's lyrics and imagery to convey assertions of fact. So here's my thing, though. There's a lot of songs out there that say a lot of way out there crazy stuff that people have done, like committing actual unalivings. And bro, I don't even know why this song just popped up into my head. What is that country song where she talks about keying dude's car? Bro, y'all know the song I'm talking about. When she talk about keying dude's car, that was an old song. I bust the windows out your car. Like, bro, do y'all think that they really was doing that, or y'all just assuming that it's music? Yeah, the Louisville Slugger. Yes. That's the one. The Louisville Slugger joint. And Jasmine Sullivan. Like, do they, I mean, and that's R&B, right? Did y'all think that they was like really doing that? Or I don't know. Carrie Underwood, yeah. I don't know why those are the two songs that popped in with like really outrageous things. I don't know if they might have, but I don't think the masses of people heard that song and was like, okay, when did Carrie Underwood go and bash that dude's car? Like, I want a video. He said Jasmine definitely did that. One time for Jasmine Sullivan. I bust the windows out your car. I don't even remember the rest of the song. I don't even remember the rest. But them saying like countless listeners have interpreted song lyrics and imagery to convey assertions of fact. Just because, so basically you're saying the replay value of the song is its own detriment, right? Like, because it's such a catchy song and people hear it all the time and people want to hear it all the time, and it's on radios and it's you know, it's getting spun you know, through different DSPs all the time, that now we assert that as fact. Bro, we can't help it. We hear it all the time. But I mean, that's their argument. I will say that's their argument. That's their argument. You hear it all the time. You're going to think it's fact. All right, let's continue. Does anybody got anything to say about that? All right, let's continue. UMG made significant financial investments and leveraged its professional connections via sophisticated and highly organized publicity campaigns to arrange for the song to be performed at one of the most significant viewed cultural events of the year, the Super Bowl. The recording was performed during the 2025 Super Bowl and broadcast to the largest audience for a Super Bowl halftime show ever. Sheesh. Over 133 million people, including millions of children and millions more who had never before heard the song or any of the songs that preceded it. Including millions of children and millions more who had never heard the song or any of the songs that preceded it. So it's like, oh man, y'all gave them new fans, new people heard it, people who never even heard of it before. I feel like these arguments are weird. The arguments are weird. It's like, what if the song was playing at the gym and nobody never heard it before and they walked out singing the song because they heard it 10 times in the gym? Are you going to then say, oh, it was played in Planet Fitnesses and Lifetime Fitnesses all across the, like, what? That's crazy. It was the first and will hopefully be the last Super Bowl halftime show orchestrated to assassinate the character of another artist. Not a set list watching. Like, you can't. We want to make sure your set list is not going to assassinate the character of another artist. We want to make sure you're not beefing. That's weird, bro. That's weird. Moreover, UMG retains the right to refuse to publish works based on content which it objects, including material that UMG deems to be defamatory. Why would a UMG deem it to be defamatory if you are beefing? What are we saying? You act like bro just came out of left field and was just talking about you. Does that make any sense? Am I dumb? Drop. Use this as the they have nothing to drop button. Y'all remember that? I do. Moreover, UMG retains the right to refuse to publish. Do not make a song that is going to defame Drake, please. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Bro, he is Space Jam reaching, dog. He MJ from half court reaching. Is that a 3-point or a 2? But anyway. So they basically saying, bro, you should have known that was defaming or defamatory, and you should have not included that. Or you should not have allowed that. So again, we say this again because anytime we talk about this, right? Anytime we discuss this, we bring up the fact that Drake did the same thing. We bring up the fact that Drake did the same thing, and why is no one talking about that? We caught a little lag, but we fixed it. So they struck out this whole footnote here. Let's read it. Drake previously initiated 2 pre-litigation actions against UMG in state court in New York and Texas to investigate allegations that UMG engaged in the deliberate and inappropriate strategy of paying third parties to artificially inflate the recording's metrics, a practice known as payola. So they struck out the payola part, right? They struck out the payola part. So they're not talking payola no more. Predictably, millions of people who listened to the recording or saw the image and video believe the defamatory material to be true. UMG had previously published Lamar's song Euphoria, which also widely understood to be targeted at Drake, and which stated, "Don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you." As voluminous public commentary confirms, the average listener or viewer has understood the defamatory material to reflect the truth. So they struck the truth and said factual assertions about Drake. So they don't even want to call it the truth on their side. They don't want to call it the truth. They're striking that and saying factual assertions about Drake rather than art or hyperbole. Moreover, the lyrics of Not Like Us leave the unmistakable impression that they are based on additional facts. Shout out to Supermom for the 20. Shout out to Supermom for the $20 donation. Not a BlackBerry. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that support. Thank you. If UMG would have got the Super Bowl for Kendrick Lamar, why didn't they do it for Drake? The lawyer's logic isn't valid. Right. Either one of them could have done it. Right? They add in all the diss tracks, bro. Euphoria too. They bringing up Euphoria. Moreover, the lyrics of Not Like Us leave the unmistakable impression that they are based on additional facts not disclosed to the listener, but that might be revealed at some future point in time. In the words of one of the commentators, the recording's false lyrics have made it such that everybody believes that Drake loves touching children. Who said that? Because that's a quote. Who said that? In the words of one commentator. The mob-like response to the recording continues to unfold on and offline. Recently, at one point in time, flyers were posted all over Toronto with a photo of Drake and a Canadian YouTuber who was sentenced to 3 years in prison for SA. With the words, so now we're talking about the home team doing this in Canada. They did this. The Canadians did this. The Canadians did this. The public's response re-intensified following the 2025 Grammys and Super Bowl, both of which featured the defamatory material. Each of these prestigious and high exposure events introduced new listeners to the recordings, causing even more people to be duped into believing that Drake was a PDF. Not only did streams of the recordings increase significantly following these two mega cultural events, but threats against Drake and his family did as well. So my only thing, right? Sorry I'm late. What up, T-Mac? When are these things happening? When are these things happening? Because they haven't been in the news. When his crib got, got hit up, it was in the news. But I haven't seen anything since. We almost said 200 likes in the stream game. Run it up. If you guys haven't done it already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate the love and support. We're trying to hit 30K over here. Thank y'all for everything. There's always been a certain amount of salaciousness in these conspiracy theories. As it involves children, people immediately just lose their minds, even if these children don't exist. If you put out the suggestion there, it grabs a hold in a way that is difficult to dislodge. That is exactly what the recording accomplished. And we say it again. What about Kendrick being a wife beater and his kid being somebody else's? Like, it's the same thing. I feel like we just continue to fail to see that. We continue to fail to see that it's the same thing. Yet UMG still chose money over the safety and well-being of its artists, notwithstanding its public commitment to behaving honorably and with honesty and getting the right tone in all that we do. And UMG has tripled and quadrupled down on its defamation for profit strategy, even after Drake filed this lawsuit, which detailed the harm to. So it sounds to me like they thought by just suing them that UMG would then back off and stop or throttle the song from being what it is. That's what it sounds like, which is crazy. It's the biggest song of like 2024, bro. What did you think they was gonna do? Again, your diss just didn't hit as hard, so now you have an issue with it. That's the only thing I'm seeing here. That's the only thing I'm seeing. Your diss didn't hit as hard, and people believe what he said about you and not what you said about him. Honest question in the chat. If it was the other way around, do you think we'd be getting a lawsuit from Kendrick? Yes or no in the chat. Run it up. I want to see it. So now, okay. So UMG may, which they've stricken may, and has moved to, UMG has attempted to spin this complaint as a rap beef gone legal. Is that not what we're looking at? Is this not what we're looking at? A rap beef gone legal? Yo, they are throwing all common sense out the window. UMZ, they said may. Now they're doubling down and saying that they have attempted to spin this complaint as a rap beef gone legal. But this lawsuit is not about a war of words between artists, then what is it about? Someone explain it to me. Someone break it down, because I'm not smart enough to understand if this is not about a war of words. Lamar's music, as well as Drake's, and its malicious decision to publish and promote through both overt and covert means. So they're saying not only are they doing things behind the scenes, but they're doing it right in our faces, which is the award shows, the Super Bowl, the pop out. They're letting all this stuff happen overt and covertly. I just, bro, somebody explain it to me, man. And then they're doubling, tripling down on it is the crazy part. Like, they're doubling and tripling down on it. Like, they're back again and saying these things, but saying them in like I don't even understand what is the desired outcome? That's what I want to know. What's the desired outcome? Between 2010 and 2024, Drake released 8 studio albums with more than 170 million albums sold, including 244 million singles sold. Drake has had 13 number 1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. Oh, okay, so that's just grammatical changes. Drake also uses a brand name, October's very own, OVO. So they didn't mention the brand name from before? Represented by an owl for his clothing brand. So they just spelled out OVO here instead of, are they trying to, that to me, because they're known as OV hoes, and people know that, I think what they're trying to do is move away from the abbreviated term OVO and go for something like October's very own, so we can get away from OV hoes. Say OV ho, that's what I'm getting. Hey, look, let's start going about October's very own again, because OVO is a little too much, bro. It's too much. It's too much. Let's go by October's very own and not OVO anymore. So they struck this web archive. This division-based incentive structure creates perverse incentives within UMG. Mr. Janik and other Interscope executives are incentivized to maximize the financial success of Interscope labels without taking into account the impact of the UMG labels. For example, through the promotion of the recording and the revitalizing impact on Kendrick Lamar's entire recording catalog. They petty, bro. They petty. Oh, we're revitalizing everything. This song is revitalizing his career. Like, bro, they trying to make it seem like bro was a freaking duck. He was just a lame duck. He never had anything. He never did anything until this. This is absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. For example, through the promotion of the recording and its revitalizing impact on Kendrick Lamar's entire recording catalog, including his first 5 solo albums, Interscope and Interscope executives benefit regardless of the effect on other UMG labels like Republic, which represents Drake. Okay, so they've included an interview. In a June 2017 interview, Mr. Janik responded to a question about Sir Grange's encouragement of competition between the UMG record labels by stating, "I love to compete and I don't like to lose." Oh my God. They gonna take that out of context? I love to compete and I don't like to lose. Basically like, yo, this is Republic versus Interscope. That's the way they trying to spin it. Republic versus Interscope, and we not gonna let you win. Republic versus Interscope, and we not gonna let you win because I hate to lose. Bro, at the end of the day, it's Lucien. If he want to win, he gonna win no matter what. They stupid, bro. UMG is fully aware that musical content, including song lyrics, can defame third parties, and that artistic expression is not free license to harm others. On information and belief, UMG's standard long-form exclusive recording contract includes a provision which permits UMG eliminate material which, in UMG's judgment, constitutes defamation or libel. Fam! So why wouldn't they just ask? But why would they? So they trying to get rid of the whole beef. Dog, let's ask just get rid of all of the disses. If we got to get rid of Not Like Us, then we got to get rid of all of the disses. But the thing with that is, bro, Drake doesn't care if you get rid of all of the disses. He don't care. He's like, dog, that didn't do nothing for me. That helped you. They want to just get rid of everything. All of it. Not just Not Like Us. Because if I'm them, if we got to get rid of Not Like Us, then we got to get rid of all of it. Supposedly, Lucien is about to retire. Still, both Republican and Interscope CEOs fighting to take his place. Oh. On information and belief, UMG's contracts with Kendrick Lamar provide UMG the same right as in its standard long-form exclusive recording contract. The same right. So they're just saying that him and Drake have the same right? Exclusive recording contract to eliminate material which, what? Oh, eliminate material which may constitute defamation or libel. So they're saying they both have the same right to do that, to eliminate material which may constitute defamation or libel. Yeah, to me, it sounds like they want to go ahead and just get rid of everything. Since defendant's initial publication of the recording, the recording has been streamed globally more than 990 million times. And since the time of this being done, they've gone ahead and updated it to 1.4 billion. Almost 200 likes in the stream. Run it up. Hit that like button, guys. Appreciate it. Within the first minute, the recording identifies Drake by name and states that Lamar has heard. Say Drake, albeit I heard you like him young. He never said you liked him young, albeit from undisclosed sources and concerning undisclosed individuals. So he said, say Drake, I heard. He didn't mention no names. He didn't say where I heard it from or who. Shout out to Carne for the 30 jewels. That if Drake comes to Oakland, where Lamar grew up, yeah, see, they had to strike that. He comes to Oakland, where Lamar grew up. They took that out. He would not make it out alive. I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. They had to take that out. That's tough. They had to take that out. Yo. This ain't about the rap beef. It's about the lyrics. Make it make sense. This is crazy, bro. The recording they took out threatens because he didn't threaten. The recording expressly represents that Lamar possesses additional undisclosed information. So they took out threatens to reveal more secrets. They're trying to make this sound like fluffy now. Like they was real hardcore in this first in the first doc, and now they've kind of lightened up a little bit. They just lightened up a little bit. They're like, you know what? We don't want to be quite as aggressive as we were. Images on Apple Music, images on Google Images. That is crazy. Images on Spotify, images on Amazon. This is the crazy, bro. This is crazy. Dog. Instead, the recording's allegations are based entirely on undisclosed fact and expressly refers to such undisclosed facts as described above. Threatens it could go further. So they're removing the fact that he's threatening them. The recording's allegations about Drake were understood to be factual assertions against Drake from the moment UMG published it. So how in the hell are they supposed to tell how people are going to accept what's being said? What? So UMG was supposed to understand that people were going to then take that as a fact. All the music that's been put out and nobody's accepting anything as facts. Now they should have known ahead of time that people were going to start believing what they were saying. How are they supposed to know? I'm telling you, bro. I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to say that. But that is insane. Literal insanity. Another commented posted that Drake has more than 800,000 dislikes on that song because everybody believes he loves touching children. How can we see dislikes? Can we see dislikes on the video? The fact that allegations came packaged in rap lyrics did not dissuade listeners from erroneously believing the allegations to be true. Moreover, any reasonable listener would have understood that Kendrick Lamar was claiming to know more information about Drake than he disclosed in recordings lyrics. The public noticed and commented on this unmistakable message. Bro just exposed Drake of running with, this is a comment? These comments sound like plants. I love this song. We would have never known Drake is a PDF if it wasn't for this information. Come on, bro. These comments sound like plants. Moreover, any reasonable listener would have understood that Kendrick Lamar was claiming to know more information about Drake than he disclosed in recordings lyrics. The public noticed and commented on this unmistakable message. Bro just exposed Drake of running with PDF files and blank offenders. They sound like plant comments. I don't want to be that guy. I wish we could figure out who these comments were. I don't want to be that guy, but I never took Drake seriously. He's Canadian. He was in Degrassi. That stuff makes it hard for me to take him seriously. I thought that's why Kendrick went after him. Now that it's more serious than Drake being fake, I'm like, wow, if I knew all of this, I'd hate Drake too. That seems more like a real comment. That seems more like a real comment. Many listeners focus on the line. The rabbit hole is deep. I can go further, I promise, as implying that the lyrics were based on undisclosed information. One user commented, rabbit hole still deep. I can go further, I promise. Drake waves the white flag, ends the beef. They are referring to a lot of people's comments. Like, I didn't think that one person's comments or two people's comments or three people's comments or 100 people's comments in something as massive as this could let you think that that's the full narrative. That's the full story. It's just a small sample size. What up, DMV? It's not the whole story. It's just part of the story. It is entirely unsurprising that the public interpreted the recording's lyrics as an assertion of fact. On April 30th, 2024, less than a week before the release of the recording, UMG had released an earlier song by Kendrick Lamar, Euphoria, that threatened that he won't tell truths about Drake if Drake don't lie about him, and ominously stated that he knows some stuff about Drake. To the reasonable listener familiar with these lyrics, any future allegation levied by Lamar against Drake would be based in truth. So you're saying he rapped so well that people believe what he said. Rap is under attack, gang. This too will be amended. That's a fact. Rap is under attack because I can't understand how what we know to be rap and the way people rap and the lyrics that are said in some songs, I can't really understand how anyone wants to continue to rap or talk about things that they've been through or seen. But you know, like I even think about I think about drill. Oh, they are mentioning these people, users, Super Saiyan 19. Yo, these people have commented on YouTube videos and they're using their comments in a lawsuit. That's crazy. For example, users on X comment, "It's Drake." I can't even read that. I can't even read that comment. They put John Denton in the mess. Yep, reactors comments and Kendrick's own channel comments. That's the crazy part about this, man, is that I've seen that more reactors were added to this too. And that double down is the reason why you had a lot of people not really reacting to his music, man. Like the Nokia video was different because they said, and I think that's why you end up adding that stuff in there. Because if you know people are on the fence about reacting and listening to your music, the only way to get said people that weren't going to react to your music to look at your music is by mentioning Kendrick. Ain't that some shit? Shout out to Davis Lewis Love for the $5 donation, gang. I appreciate you. We almost at 200 likes. Drake wants to box Kendrick. What's he gonna do? Hire a ghost fighter? I believe so. He might hire a ghost fighter, fam. The entire narrative of the Hard Part 6 was based on comments after he had already reacted on his IG story. Channel owners will have to put alerts about the publicity of comments in the chats. Yes, bro, anything you comment on this video can be used in court documents. Anything you post in the comment section while watching the video can be used in court documents. So if you don't want to be, that is absolutely insane. That is insane. My bad, gang. Give me 1 second. My bad, gang. This is getting weird. Just saw Chick Smooth video about this. This gets more crazy. Keep reading. I'm getting to it, man. There's so much stuff here. And the harassment has not been limited to Drake. People with little to no affiliation with Drake have found themselves in the crosshairs. Comedian Tracy Morgan was subject to awful social media scrutiny after posting an Instagram photo of his adolescent daughter with Drake. I think he likes them high school age. That is crazy. He's probably grooming her. My God. Yeah, man. But oh, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that, bro. Tracy, no, I'm not even gonna say that, bro. I just don't understand. Never mind. Numerous articles were written exploring the meaning of the recording's lyrics, including discussion of purported factual basis of those lyrics. See Demi Phillips, Lyrical Breakdown, Hot New Hip Hop. Oh my God. I gotta look at more of these comments, bro. Other influencers suggested the possible truth of allegations. Many comments turned violent. Shout out to, hope I say this right, Anasia Lilithine. Hopefully I said it right. Anathea, thank you for the $5 donation. Thank you for this coverage. Get the vid to 200 likes. Y'all heard her. Y'all heard it. Get the video. I appreciate you. Get the video to 200 likes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the donation too. I really appreciate it. Many comments turned violent and threatening, repeating the calls for violence against Drake in the recording. A lot of people said that they called like hotlines against him. A lot of people said that. Why does he keep putting himself in them awkward positions? Of course, people are going to think something crazy. Crazy, man. Reasonable people would believe that the allegations contained in the defamatory material was entirely foreseeable. Allegations of PDF are a cultural lightning rod. Very true. Derek Rosenthal, Seth Rogen. Mr. Vidal explains that his mob mentality is why people can believe the allegations despite the fact that Drake has never been accused of inappropriate behavior. He's never been accused? What? Accused? Has he never been accused? Yeah, I don't know about that one, gang. Shout out Davis Lewis Love for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. By insinuating reactors are taking payola to react to videos, they could do jail time, if true, because it's a federal crime. That is absolutely absurd. That is absolutely absurd. And I mean, and the thing is, I don't know if any of them did because I don't know. I know for a fact I didn't. Ain't nobody paid me nothing but YouTube ad revenue. That's it. Ain't nobody called me and was like, hey, bro, you want to react to this? I'm going to give you some extra money to do that. No, people was going to do it either way. But I can't say if anybody has gotten paid to do reactions. I don't know. I think that you wouldn't have to pay anybody because they were going to do it anyway. They were going to do it anyway. Not only did people believe the allegations in the recording and the image, some acted on them. What does that mean? Within days, UMG's initial publication of the recording and image, which depicted a location of, accusing being a criminal PDF and called for violence against them, multiple strangers, including at least one armed with a deadly weapon, targeted Drake. I don't deny that, though. I don't deny that people definitely got active after hearing that song. If they took it as like 100% truth, I'm not a bot. I definitely think that they would have gone and been that aggressive. The invaders slid under the fence and entered the property screaming racist slurs and violent threats. We've heard that before, though. Drake publicly denies the defamatory material. On May 5th, 2024, just the day after UMG published the recording and image, Drake denied all allegations in a song called The Hard Part 6. Drake explained that he has never been with no one underage and that his name is not on the sex offender list. Despite being able to contact Drake, UMG did not ask Drake or his representatives to discuss his denials of the allegations contained with the defamatory material. Oh my God. The Hard Part 6 out now. I don't care what they say. You'll always be in the big three in my book. Belief in the truth of defamatory material persisted in direct response to Drake's denial of the claims. Y'all know who these people are on screen. Y'all know who these people are on screen. I don't even want to say their names. They both in an "een." UMG did so with the knowledge of actual violence and online threats that ensued from its initial publication of the recording, as well as its understanding that countless listeners had understood the recording and image to convey statements of fact. Video on YouTube. Certified lover boy. Certified PDFs. Just seeing pictures of Kendrick. Seeing pictures of Kendrick at the playground is diabolical. Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor. Yikes. And we know all about this. We have discussed this time and time again. The video causes more people to believe the allegation against Drake. Just as with the publication of the recording and image, as soon as UMG published the video, people began expressing belief in the allegations against Drake. Posts reacting to the video, also numbering in at least the hundreds of thousands, are undistinguishable from those reacting to the recording and image. Posts react. Oh. Posts reacting to the video, also numbering in at least the hundreds of thousands, are indistinguishable from those reacting to the recording and image. Users again confirmed their belief in the allegations and that the allegations were based on some facts known by Lamar, but yet undisclosed to the public. The cage owl got me truly believing Kendrick, no Drake going to prison, possibly. Others commented, we have an anti-PDF anthem, about time. No justice for guys like Diddy, Ian, and Drake. Bro, they are using comments. One user characterized Drake of being just another Hollywood PDF file. Users also made anti-Semitic remarks. Wait, are they? User Jacob Chavez comment. Ace High comment. Yo, if you comment on this video, it can be used in court cases. And users again threaten Drake's safety. How can you blame the video and the song for other people's actions? That doesn't even make sense. Gymnastics Dad, what up? This was literally a verbal ass whooping. Thank you. Now this man running for help. Funniest and craziest things I've ever seen. This is crazy. YouTube, look, that's it. These are the links. Thanks for everything. Stacks of Liddy. These are all comments. Following the public reaction to the recording and image, UMG understood that this kind of reaction to the video was likely, if not inevitable. So they're saying that they knew that it would balloon and get out of proportion. Further, UMG published and promoted the video and further republication and licensing of the recording, with the knowledge that millions of people already understood the recording to assert statements of fact that Drake is a PDF. The fact that they just keep saying this is crazy, how often they say Drake is a PDF. That Lamar had represented, he knew of undisclosed facts to support such. Doesn't it sound kind of redundant? Doesn't it sound kind of redundant though? Like they keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. Vigilante actions against suspected PDFs have notably increased in the last 2 years. Are they really blaming that on this? I'm shocked Drake still has fans. You know what? Like, I can't say that because there's a moment in time when Drake definitely, you don't know what you don't know, right? And Drake had a pretty good run, and I think he still has those fans. But I think they need to see something a little bit more concrete for them to really make a decision if they're going to be fans of his or not. That's just my take. Despite having knowledge of nearly all of the harms Drake has suffered as a result of the publication of the defamatory material in the form of a retraction demand Drake sent to UMG. UMG continued to publish the defamatory material to new audiences around the world. He said the cease and desist for the Like That record. What, you don't like that record? He said the cease and desist for that too. As of the date of this filing, UMG has a social media following of approximately 2.21 million on YouTube, 997,000 on Instagram, 713,000 on X, and 622,000 on Facebook. At the time, why are they giving us that information? Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us has become the fastest rap song to reach 300 million Spotify listens. Recording at the Ken and Friends Pop-Out Juneteenth concert, the Pop-Out concert, during which the recording was played 5 times back-to-back. Yes, he did. 5 times back-to-back. He 100% played it 5 times back-to-back. Here's the other thing, though, gang. I don't think he would have did any of this if he actually thought that this would hold up in court. While Lamar performed many songs during the concert, UMG purposely chose to highlight the recording and to describe it as historic. History was made. Are they not supposed to highlight the good doings of an artist that they support? That doesn't make, bro. They just posted like, yo, leave that alone. We're not going to even acknowledge what's going on over there. Bro is breaking history, making history and breaking records. We're just going to act like it never happened because we don't want to make old boy mad. So we're not going to pay attention to that. On September 23rd, 2024, UMG reposted a screenshot of the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 for the week of September 28, 2024, which ranked the recording at number 10. UMG commented 8 out of 10 artists on the Billboard Hot 100 are part of the UMG fam. So are they not supposed to do that too? They're not supposed to do that too? They struck out following the release of the nominations. Interscope posted a congratulatory message on Instagram. UMG also posted on Instagram and X bragging about the nomination for Song of the Year. At the time, it undertook its promotional campaign on behalf of the recording. UMG understood that winning any, let alone many Grammy Awards, would expose the defamatory material to new audiences. I mean, if this is true, which I'm not saying it is, this would have to be the most vitriolic attack on an artist ever. Yo, if you win Grammys, we're going to get so many more listeners and we can take them down. Is it really that serious? Yo, we could take them down. We win Grammys, we're going to get so many more listeners, and then we'll take them down. None of this would have happened if we declared Drake won the battle. Not at all. Not even close. Not even close. Following the release of the nominations, okay. Following the release of the nominations, Interscope posted on its Instagram congratulations to Kendrick Lamar for his 2025 Grammy Award nominations with an image listing the recording nominations. UMG similarly posted on Instagram with the caption, "Here are this year's UMG nominees for Song of the Year. Not Like Us." And then the real UMG posted a portion of the video on the Instagram with the caption, "They not like Kendrick Lamar. He just nabbed 7 Grammy nominations." Are they not supposed to do that? Like, I just don't understand, what did they expect them to do? They just wanted them to literally shelf the song and not let it out. And following the Grammys, Interscope and UMG published a celebratory post about the success of the recording on Instagram and X. On May 13th, Ramon Alvarez Smilky, Interscope's executive vice president and head of digital marketing, reposted an X post from the Billboard charts, showing the top 10 Hot 100 songs, among them Lamar's Not Like Us at first place. In a February 25th, 2025 LinkedIn post, Jessica Statt, the vice president of international digital strategy of Interscope, shared, "Big week for all of us on Team Kendrick." Oh my God. Yeah, it is diabolical though. If you're losing, bro, you look at this like, ain't this some shit? They just gonna keep bigging them up. Remember, Drake asked Kendrick to drop. He did. He absolutely did. He absolutely did. This is crazy. Hold up. Acquired its stake in Complex. Mr. Janik commented that the partnership would give our artists access to dynamic network to deepen connections with superfans through unique collaborations and cultural moments. They keep repeating themselves. Like, they've said this like 10 times. Complex tweeted a photo of the image and described it for what it was. Its intended meaning as follows: the cover for Not Like Us, Drake's Toronto mansion with sex offender app markers. Like, I mean, I feel like you should just post all of these in one spot. They've said this like 20 times. For example, on June 19th, 2024, the recording was performed 5 times in a row at the Pop-Out concert in Inglewood. Like, again, they've said this stuff like 10 times. They just keep rehashing it. UMG subsequently made the live performance of the recording from the Pop-Out concert available to be played on the radio, and radio stations played it. They were already playing Not Like Us. Why would they not play the recording from the Pop-Out? Almost 200 likes in the stream, gang. Listen, if you're watching this on a playback, we about an hour and 15 minutes into it. We got a couple more pages left. I appreciate everybody for sticking around. Like I said, if you're watching this on a playback, hit that subscribe button, man. Hopefully I earned your sub today. We really trying to get to 30K. So if you guys would not mind just tapping that sub button if you're watching. We got 200 million people watching right now. So if you are not subbed, definitely go ahead and subscribe. But say 70% of y'all are not subbed. So I appreciate it, man. Hit that sub button. Recording has been used over 1 million times on Instagram. It was at 616 million. Now it's at 1 million times. And it's going to be used even more than that. The Dodgers had featured the recording in a hype video posted to their official YouTube page. Yo, everybody got in on the ass whooping, and I know that's why they mad, bro. Everybody got in on the ass whooping. The recording and video were some of the biggest winners of the night at the 2025 Grammy Awards, February 2nd, 2025. On information and belief, UMG conferred benefits and leveraged existing business relationships to secure Grammy nominations. What? They saying they got Grammy nominations like payola? They paid for Grammy noms? Oh, come on, bro. The recording and video were some of the biggest winners of the night at the 2025 Grammy Awards on February 2nd, 2025. On information and belief, UMG conferred benefits and leveraged existing business relationships to secure Grammy nominations and eventually wins. What the During the 2025 Grammy Awards, the recording and video won all 5 categories for which they were nominated: Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap, Best Music, Best Rap Performance. During the ceremony, defamatory portions of the recording were played to the live audience and televised to over 15 million viewers. They still mad about that, gang. They still mad about that. The recording could not have been played and broadcast during the award ceremony without UMG's consent. The original broadcast of the Grammys showed the audience singing along to the recording, but in the video of the award ceremony posted to the Grammys, shout out to Jamina Elise for the sub. The YouTube page, the original broadcast of the Grammys showed the audience singing along, but in the video of the award ceremony posted to the Grammys YouTube page, that portion is excluded. After the recording won Record of the Year, Sir Grange high-fived and hugged Lamar's longtime executive producer and musical mentor. Didn't I tell y'all they was gonna add this? Didn't I tell y'all they was gonna add this? They added the high five. They said, hey, bruh, hey, Dre and Grange, y'all working together? Y'all plotting on me? Y'all plotting on me? Crazy. Andre Ramel Young, professionally known as Dr. Dre, while the recording played on the Grammys official YouTube page, the clip featuring the high five does not contain the original audio of the recording. They real mad, bro. Just a week later, on February 9th, 2029, UMG facilitated a live performance of the recording during the Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show, which we know. As of this filing, the Super Bowl performance is viewable in full on NFL.com as well as NFL's YouTube account. UMG promoted the Super Bowl performance on Interscope social media, including by reposting advertisements by the NFL, Apple Music, and Touch Tunes. On X, on TikTok, UMG posted Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl LIX with the recording playing. Bro, this is a whole ass new page they going into. The version of the recording performed during the Super Bowl performance was modified to exclude the word PDF. So they did exclude it, but no other modifications were made. I thought that's what y'all was mad about. I thought that's what they was mad about. On information and belief, the NFL, as well as the corporate entities responsible for the televised and streaming broadcast of the Super Bowl performance, all understood the words certified PDF to be unacceptable in a broadcast to millions of listeners. Notwithstanding that apparent consensus, UMG continues to publish the recording absent the censoring. What's done is done. That's the problem. Really? It's done. It's already over. We can't go back and change it. Drake acting like a 7-year-old, y'all said. The Super Bowl performance broadcast by Fox was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show of all time with 133.5 million viewers tuning in, more people than watched the game itself. Crazy work. Billions of views from user-generated content, over 100 million views on NFL's TikTok account, the number one rank of most socially consumed. Apple Music halftime show for the NFL, 5.7 million mentions on social media, the number one rank for the most watched. They just keep bigging up what it's done. What's done is done. I know y'all understand that. They keep saying it's the biggest, it's the most, it's number one, it's this, it's that. They keep bigging it up. Just let it die. Just let it die. UMG sought out, negotiated for, greenlit, and promoted the Super Bowl performance after filing a complaint after months of notice that the allegations and the defamatory material were false, that they were being believed as true by the public, and that they were causing harm to Drake. How many people in the world didn't know Drake was credibly accused of being a PDF and now know? Kendrick just cooked Drake. Last night, before tens of millions, Kendrick Lamar lambasted PDFs. They should start an investigation on Drake. Look how Diddy and that other guy ended up. These are all comments. They're literally going through comments. Our information and belief, UMG directly or indirectly through its agents and making use of UMG resources, conspired with and paid currently or caused payments to be made. At a minimum, UMG was aware that third parties were using bots to stream. They're still going with this. Sounds like a highlight reel of the last year. They're still going with this bot narrative too. They took out the whistleblower information because they figured out that was not real. Recently, chart data, which reports on music news, reported that Spotify has been removing botted streams from its platform for the last several months. Other users online exposed the marketing of the recording through bots and payments to influencers. Hold on, chat. Give me 1 second. My bad. Hey, man, I got to get up out of here. Let me get to this real quick. We might finish this up tomorrow. Where are we at? Page 88. We'll finish on page 88 tomorrow. What I did want to discuss today was Universal warns Drake to be careful what you wish for as rappers updates complaint to target Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl show. Universal Music Group has issued a warning to Drake following the rapper's decision to amend his defamation lawsuit with new claims targeting Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl's halftime performance. Be careful what you wish for. The music giant warned Drake in a statement issued to MBW on Wednesday, stating that the artist's continued legal battles exposes him to a legal discovery process. 2 weeks ago, his representatives celebrated a win, the granting of a routine discovery motion. That win will become a loss if this frivolous and reckless lawsuit is not dropped in its entirety, because Drake will personally be subject to discovery as well. That's crazy, UMG cautioned. The statement comes as Drake on Wednesday filed an amended complaint in Manhattan federal court, further escalating his ongoing battle with the music giant. The 107-page filing now references the NFL's decision to censor the words certified PDF from Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us performance during the Super Bowl LIX halftime show in February. It was the first and will hopefully be the last Super Bowl that a Super Bowl halftime show that orchestrated to assassinate the character of another artist. We definitely covered that. 2 weeks ago, his representatives said, we read that. The Canadian rapper's legal team argued that while the televised performance censored the word PDF, no other modifications were made. They further argued that Lamar would not have been permitted to perform during the Super Bowl unless the word PDF was omitted from the lyrics. That is because nearly everyone understands that this is defamatory to falsely brand someone as a certified PDF. Lamar's halftime performance, broadcast by Fox, was the most watched of all time, with 133.5 million views, according to Billboard. The agreement to censor the word PDF failed to cure the Super Bowl performance of conveying the recording's central defamatory meaning. Instead, the Super Bowl performance further solidified the public's belief in the truth of the allegations against Drake, according to Drake's amended complaint. UMG described Drake's defamation suit one absurd legal step after another. Oh my God, I wish we had Clues bombs. I wish we had Clues bombs. I'm gonna add Clues bombs to the soundboard. Drake, unquestionably one of the world's most accomplished artists and with whom we've enjoyed a 16-year successful relationship, is being misled by his legal representatives into taking one absurd legal step after another, UMG said. The music giant pointed to a pattern of legal actions by Drake's team, noting that proceedings initiated with much fanfare and bluster in Texas last November were quietly dropped on Monday, April 14th. So they typically always do that though, gang. They always do that. They always loud with the accusation and they not loud when it doesn't go their way. They're always loud with the accusation. UMG also highlighted that Drake has withdrawn certain allegations from his original January filing, potentially to avoid court sanctions for asserting false allegations. Fearful of being sanctioned by the court for asserting false allegations, tonight they amended the complaint to withdraw them only to add more baseless allegations. The amended complaint no longer includes specific claims that quoted a whistleblower alleging Interscope paid him through third parties. So you had that in your filing and then you took it out. We can't trust nothing you say at this point. Being good at rapping don't make you hip hop. Facts. The new filing now suggests that the label merely turned a blind eye to such activities instead of actively participating in them. So they're saying they didn't actually do it. We just looked the other way. Say Drake. Chill, bro. At minimum, UMG was aware that third parties were using bots to stream, which they've gone back to that, I guess. Bots to stream the recording and turn a blind eye despite having the power to stop such behavior. UMG concluded both Texas and New York proceedings are an affront to all artists. I gotta look that up. I'm not gonna do it now, but I'm gonna look up affront to all artists and creative expression. Should his legal representatives senselessly keep the New York lawsuit alive, we will demonstrate that all remaining claims are without merit, UMG warned. It is shameful that these foolish and frivolous legal theatrics continue. They are reputationally and financially costly to Drake and have no chance of success. Look at UMG pocket watching. Hey, look, we got long money, bro. You ain't gonna be able to box with the guys for too much longer. We telling you, that little 3.4 million you getting from Stake a Week ain't gonna help you. That's what I told y'all. UMG has 21 days or until May 7th to file another motion to dismiss this amended complaint. Notably, that day marks the first anniversary of the alleged violence that occurred at Drake's Toronto house 3 days after Not Like Us dropped. That same day, Drake's OVO clothing store was allegedly vandalized with graffiti that said "They Not Like Us." Drake's amended filing comes 2 weeks after Judge Jeanette Vargas in New York ruled that the discovery process in a defamation case can begin. UMG in March asked the judge for a stay of discovery in the lawsuit. A day after the company filed motion to dismiss the case, Drake had previously opposed UMG's attempt to halt evidence gathering process. I've been reading too long. Here's the full statement. Drake, unquestionably one of the world's most accomplished artists with whom we've enjoyed a 16-year successful relationship, is being misled by his legal representatives into taking one absurd legal step after another. Give me flames in the chat if you agree. In Texas last November, his counsel instituted a legal proceeding with much fanfare and bluster. On Monday, they quietly dropped the case. In New York, in January, Drake's counsel filed a defamation lawsuit, fearful of being sanctioned by the court for asserting false allegations. Tonight, they amended that complaint to withdraw them, only to add more baseless allegations. 2 weeks ago, his representative celebrated a win, the granting of a routine discovery motion. That win will become a loss if this frivolous and reckless lawsuit is not dropped in its entirety, because Drake will personally be subject to discovery as well. As the old saying goes, be careful what you wish for. Crazy work. Crazy work. I'm telling you, they got a ghostwriter writing this, bro. Both Texas and New York proceedings are an affront to artists and creative expression. Should his legal representatives senselessly keep the New York lawsuit alive, we will demonstrate that all remaining claims are without merit. It is shameful that these foolish and frivolous legal theatrics continue. They are reputationally and financially costly to Drake and have no chance of success. And with that, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I think UMG tripling down, quadrupling down, and saying it's not gonna end well for you, gang. Just listen to us. We tried to save you. It's not gonna end well for you. You're opening yourself up for discovery too. Let's find out what you're hiding, Drake. Now, we will continue this tomorrow. We only got to page 88. There's 132 pages, so we'll probably finish that tomorrow, and then I think there's some other stuff we can get to as well. I did want to take a little bit more time to talk to you guys today. We didn't have very much time to do that, but maybe we'll do this after we've done all of this and kind of get your guys' opinions. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. We got almost 200 likes in the stream. We almost got 200 likes. If you have not subscribed to the channel, definitely make sure you subscribe. It really helps out if we can grow our channel over here as well, so our voice can be heard as well in these matters. But I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me and listening to my reading. Hopefully it was okay. I will see y'all tomorrow. We got some stuff to finish, and we got probably some more music to get into tomorrow as well. But I love y'all so much, man. Thank y'all for all the support, all of the donations, all of the subs, anybody who became a member today. I love y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.